What's up, everybody? How the hell is your day going, by the way? Hope y'all having a pretty good day. This here's Legitical Response. We cover political news, keep you up to date and keep you informed on everything that the government does because we need to know what they do. So if you're interested in that, smash that subscribe button for me and turn on your notifications. It would help. Also, if you could, before we get started, do me a big favor and smash that like button for me. It really helps with the algorithm. It really helps promote the channel and try to get the message out about what our government does. So hit that like button for me. If you don't mind, I would appreciate it. But let's talk about January 6th and our judicial system, right? We know that a lot of these people didn't do anything wrong on January 6th. And there's a lot of people sitting in jail with no trial dates and all this other stuff. They're basically political prisoners. Now, a lot of people disagree with that. And I will say for the record, right from the onset of this, that anybody that was violent, anybody that damaged property, fought with cops, did anything like that, you know, they deserve to be in jail. They deserve to get whatever charge they got. You know, aggravated charges, what have you. However, the people that didn't do anything wrong, that were just there for the rally, walked into the Capitol, just walked around, didn't cause no harm, didn't interrupt anything, didn't obstruct an official proceeding, in other words. These people should never have been prosecuted, and it's a crying shame that there's hundreds of people that didn't do a damn thing wrong that are sitting in jail or have served prison for not doing anything wrong. You know, we had that clip, Nancy Pelosi. Most people haven't seen it. She was like, I've been waiting for this trespassing on the Capitol grounds. What do you mean trespassing on the Capitol grounds? That is a public building. Would love to know what she meant by that. Been waiting for it, huh? But outside of that, let's get into the story that we're talking about today. Appeals court ruling that vacates Capitol rioters' sentence could impact dozens of January 6th cases. You love how they frame that, right? A Capitol rioter, right? It's just a damn crying shame. Look at some of the charges that these people got. If they don't have any kind of misconduct charges or anything like that, any kind of violence charges, these people didn't do anything wrong. And almost all of these people got obstruction of an official proceeding charges. Now, the mainstream narrative machine, most of Congress, they all said, insurrectionists, my insurrection. How come none of these people got insurrection charges? You know, you've got a handful of people that had seditious conspiracy, and if they can prove that, throw them under the jail. But how come the vast majority of these people didn't get insurrection charge if it was a so-called insurrection? Kind of wonder about that, huh? Why did they just get obstruction of an official proceeding charges? Kind of makes you wonder, what's going on with this? Well, let's figure that out right quick. Check this out, y'all. A federal appeals court in Washington has ordered a new sentence for a retired Air Force officer who stormed the U.S. Capitol dressed in combat gear in a ruling issued Friday that could impact dozens of other cases stemming from the January 6, 2021 attack. While a panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit upheld Larry Brock's conviction, the court said a judge wrongly applied an enhancement that lengthened the recommended prison sentence range under federal guidelines. The enhancement on the grounds that Brock's conduct resulted in substantial interference with the administration of justice. That's interesting. Has been applied in more than 100 other January 6 defendants' cases, said Patricia Hartman, a spokesperson for the Washington's U.S. Attorney's Office. If the ruling stands, those defendants who have not already completed their prison terms may push for new sentences. When asked whether prosecutors will appeal the ruling, Hartman said they are considering their option. Now that's very, very interesting. They got a sentence enhancement falling under administration of justice charge, right? To make their sentence much longer. Administration of justice. Now think about that for a minute. What do they mean by administration of justice? I'm just wondering exactly what that means, because that, to me, thinking about this logically, that would mean that certifying the electoral votes was somehow administering justice. How the hell is certifying an electoral vote administering justice? Break that down for a second, okay? So that would mean that the judge, who knows what all this is, right? They know what these people done. They know exactly what administration of justice enhancement would mean. It means a longer prison sentence, right? That would mean they would have to believe, in my mind at least, let me know if you disagree with this, that Trump was not a duly elected president. That would mean that Joe Biden getting put into office is serving justice. Huh. Very interesting, right? Brock was sentenced last year to 2 years in prison after being convicted of a felony charge of obstruction of an official proceeding and misdemeanor offenses. He is currently serving his sentence at a federal lockup in Missouri and is expected to be released in December, according to Online Bureau of Prisons records. Brock's attorney didn't immediately respond to an email seeking comment on Friday. The obstruction felony charge is already at the center of another case the U.S. Supreme Court will hear arguments on next month that could upend hundreds of Capitol riot cases. The justices agreed to hear the appeal filed by lawyers for another rioter charged with obstruction of an official proceeding, one of the most widely used charges brought in the January 6th attack. In Brock's case, the appeals court said the administration of justice sentencing enhancement applies to judicial proceedings but does not extend to interfering with certification of electoral vote. That's what Congress was meeting to do on January 6th when supporters of Donald Trump stormed the Capitol. Brock's interference with one stage of the Electoral College vote counting process, while no doubt endangering our democratic processes and temporarily derailing Congress's constitutional work, did not interfere with the administration of justice, the three-judge panel wrote. That's what I was saying. That would mean, that judge knows what administration of justice enhancement would mean. Like I said, now that we know that obviously that wasn't justice being served at the time, the electoral vote cannot be considered justice unless you believe that there was an injustice gone somewhere, right? That would mean that you would have to be an election denier. So obviously this judge, the original judge who sentenced this guy, was an election denier, because unless you're just corrupt and very partisan. So either this judge is very partisan or she's an election denier. That's what I'm getting out of this. Like I said, let me know down in the comments what you think. It's unclear to what extent Brock's or other defendants' punishments might be reduced on resentencing. With the sentencing enhancements, the range in Brock's case under federal guidelines was 24 to 30 months. U.S. District Judge John Bates sentenced Brock to the low end of those guidelines, which merely provided direction for judges when they are considering punishments and are not mandatory. Brock's attorney has said in court papers that the misapplied enhancement likely increased his client's sentence by about 9 months. Prosecutors had recommended a sentence of 5 years in prison. Brock of Grapevine, Texas, was wearing a helmet and tactical vest when he joined into the mob that attacked the Capitol and went onto the Senate floor only minutes after Vice President Mike Pence, senators, and their staff evacuated the chamber. Brock picked up the discarded pair of zip-tie handcuffs and was photographed in a widely shared photo holding the handcuffs on the Senate floor. What does that matter? His lawyer said in court papers that Brock did not pick up the handcuffs to do any harm. Right. Why? That one kind of confuses me. Why throw that into the story? They're trying to portray this guy in a worse light than he already is portrayed, right? Like I said, some of these people that were violent, they deserve to be in jail. Of course. What the hell is wrong with these people? But, we do know that Antifa was there, and Antifa members have got arrested on January 6th for storming the Capitol. We do know that a lot of Trump supporters were there, and a lot of Trump supporters got arrested for storming the Capitol. However, a lot of Trump supporters also got arrested for not storming the Capitol, for just walking right on into the Capitol, peacefully walking around. Look at Jacob Chansley. Jacob Chansley served 2 years in jail, something like that. And there's tons of video evidence that he did nothing wrong. He was let out of prison. He did absolutely nothing wrong. He was being escorted by Capitol Police, for God's sakes. But yet, everybody looks at him like he's the instigator of this whole thing. And yet, the actual instigator, who is on camera instigating, saying, "We got to go into the Capitol," didn't get arrested. Still free till this day. What is up with that? This whole thing smells really bad of BS. That's all I'm saying. Let me know what you're saying down in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys, but it just blows my mind the extent these people are willing to go to make examples out of totally innocent people, right? If a lot of these innocent people would have never gotten jailed, this video would never be made, because justice was served. These people that stormed the Capitol and attacked police and damaged the building and all this, they got what was coming to them. Of course. And, still to this day, people are like, it's all Trump's fault. Even though people were storming the Capitol while Trump was still talking. Before he left, he was still giving a speech when these people started storming the Capitol. And if you don't believe me, go look it up. It's the God's honest truth. So how the hell can he be responsible for that when people are storming the Capitol at the same time he's saying, let's peacefully march to the Capitol and patriotically make our voices heard? It just blows my mind the lengths these people are willing to go to vilify Trump on this, when there's clear evidence that he did nothing wrong. As far as legally nothing wrong. Is it a good idea to hold a rally that freaking large on the same day they're certifying the electoral vote, when a lot of people felt like that election was stolen from them because there was a butt ton of underhanded crap that went on? Yeah, that's not a very good idea. Would I have done that? No, probably not. Probably not. But Trump is his own person, and that was totally legal to do. Totally okay under the law, under the Constitution, to do that. So how can we fault him for it? We can only morally say, yeah, he probably shouldn't have done that in hindsight. But without hindsight, you can't really say it was wrong. But let me know what you think about all this down in the comment section. That's all I got, y'all. Y'all try to have a good day and be positive. Peace.